Interface Video, in cooperation with Fairfield Federal, presents Fairfield Today. Brought to you by Fairfield Federal Savings and Loan, Fairfield Medical Center, Fair Hope Hospice and Palliative Care, the Frankie Smith Funeral Home, Fairfield County Adam H., Dagger Law, and the Fairfield County Board of Developmental Disabilities.
Hello friends, and welcome to Fairfield Today. I'm Paul Jasson. We're downtown again for I think the second consecutive week, been able to come back to Fairfield Federal, and we're pleased about that. We're glad you can join us. And of course, we'll talk more about that a little later on, but Fairfield Federal involved in their quasquicentennial, 125 years. We'll talk a little bit more about that later, but that's going on here at Fairfield Federal. We're glad you're with us. Second half of the program today, we'll be talking to Dave Smith about the July 4th, and as you can imagine, things will change there from our typical July 4th. Nothing's the same as we ever remember it just 6 months ago, just 3 months ago almost. So things are moving all the time. But one of those things that are moving is our first guest today. It was about 30 years ago that out on 37 in this big field, some people, I think crazy people, got the idea to put in a ball field right there. And I can remember thinking back, I thought, there's no way a ball field's ever going to fit there. Well, let's fast forward 30 years later, and we got one of the crazy guys with us right now, Beavers. I can remember when I was going, I thought that was about the most insane idea. How could a ball field ever fit in there? And here we are.
Well, I think, Paul, I appreciate you having me on, but I think I was probably the most insane person there.
I'm 100% agreement with that. I have been for 30 years.
But committee I put together with Max Griggs and Dr. Bowling, and that Dr. Bowling, when he moved to Texas, he still didn't have an idea what was going to be there, but he supported me 100%.
Nice.
And we built a little league field out there at his old office there just up the road. But
yeah.
No, it was a idea of mine because I coached the Legion baseball, and we played at the high school and things. Didn't play it like I did. Down at Miller Parks where I played Legion ball.
In the old cement bleacher days. That's what I remember down there. Yeah.
Yes. And the ball was going on 6th Avenue.
Get a foul ball, go over Baskin Robbins lot over there. You have to go get it.
Now they have to hit the ball pretty good to get on 37 from my field. But no, it was a project that we started, and took us about 3 years to even move enough 25,000 yards of dirt to make the ball field and make it in what it is today. And over the 30 years, we've tried to make improvements and made it a very nice ballpark. Steve Rao broadcast a game the other night, and he said this is the most, how did he describe it? The most beautiful ballpark that you'll find in Central Ohio.
And it's very fan-friendly.
Yes.
I mean, you and your Phyllis and your wife and everybody there with the food and everything. I mean, it's and for those who didn't know, we're talking about Beavers Field out on 37 right there, and it's a fabulous place. Al Beavers, kind of guy that, if you'll build it, they will come kind of mentality. And man, I bet this COVID-19 virus has just knocked your socks off this summer.
Boy, it was very depressing there for when it hit and everything, staying at home. And I told people when I had stayed at home, once the grass started growing and stuff, my second home is at the ballpark. So I was there by myself. So I was socially distancing from everybody. But for March, April, and May, all I did was maintenance work, mow grass, hoping someone would play on it.
Yeah.
And we lost the whole high school season, the whole college season, which included the high school regional tournament we've had for 26 years that draws thousands of people. And I was very surprised that they let us open up May 26th. And so when they opened it up, being a private field, all the high school fields were closed. They couldn't play on those. I got calls from whole college leagues, summer leagues, wanted to play games at my field.
Because with being closed, they had no access.
Right. And the college field's still not open till the 1st of August for all college fields. So all these travel teams and everybody that looking for someplace to play, and they hadn't even been able to get out even in city parks or any place to practice. And so I wound up, to make a long story short, we opened the first weekend, June 4th, with 18 games, 18 9-inning games in 4 days. And since then, we've had 26 games and 25 practices since May 26th.
So had the season opened up at the normal time, which is normally when we talk early, and you've got this coming up next week, and we've got a big field. I don't remember how many games you typically schedule out there. I know it's almost more every year. You have more, but how many would you have had you been able to open?
We had 170 games scheduled.
And at the end of the year, assuming all games are played, how many do you think you'll end up with?
This year, we have 120 games scheduled in June and July, and then the fall league. So I think we'll wind up maybe at 150 games.
So almost back to normal, but compressed in a much smaller time frame.
Very small.
About every day.
Yes.
Yeah.
And starting Thursday, we have the Beavers Dam Wood Bat Classic, the first year for that.
Wood Bat Classic, that sounds great.
They all have to use wood bats.
And that's great.
And we have 6 games a day, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and 4 games on Sunday, which Phyllis, who runs Phyllis's home plate concession stand.
Home plate.
The response so far this year is unbelievable, the number of people we're getting. We've had teams from Portsmouth and Waverly and all over the place come in. And I think they brought the whole town because people want to get out and watch baseball, and I don't think they'll see MLB this year.
Do you think that again is because of the virus concerns,
Yes.
that other things aren't available to them, maybe down where they live or on TV, like you say,
Yes,
baseball
we're
games?
convinced of it. I've even had police officers that come up there, and they said, we're coming out to watch baseball. I mean, we got to watch something live.
Yeah.
All the replays, like the old replay I saw of your basketball game in Guns Arena that you broadcast.
That was a few years ago with Andy Rice. We did that up there.
That had been early 90s.
Anthony Gressick, one of your big guys, was playing back then, a young kid who was a tremendous multi-sport athlete.
He could do anything. And I think you mentioned he could jump out of the gym.
And I think you mentioned he was the last player from Lancaster or Fairfield County to go pro.
Be drafted, yes. Draft out of college. But we've had 19 of them, but he was the last one at that time.
Name from the past, Anthony Gressick.
Name of the past. Been through about 450 Legion players, and they come back and see, and some of them I don't recognize. They have to introduce themselves to me.
You haven't changed as they have changed.
No, I haven't changed. It's easy. They just call me Coach.
That's all you have to remember is Coach. That's it. You know, we're talking with Al Beavers, runs Beavers Field out there, and again, 30 years this has been going on, and it's just been a tremendous asset to the community. I'm sure we'll be talking to people from the convention bureaus and all the places around. I probably couldn't even put a dollar amount on how much money has been brought into this community, but if you look back over 30 years, and it's just been a real asset to Lancaster and Fairfield County having this out here.
Yeah, so that's what's really brought us to the limelight of the area, because we had the State Legion tournament for 10 years, both the juniors and seniors. 2 years ago, I told the mayor that we outdrew his first festival. We had 7,000 people there for a 5-day tournament, and they didn't have many in that first week. Well, this year we lost the State Legion tournaments because they canceled Legion, but these other tournaments we're picking up is going to make up for that for us and the city of Lancaster, because they're going to have people's team staying and stuff too. But they lost a lot of money with the hotel, because we had delayed the start of the Legion season, hoping we could get it in.
Sure.
But the state adjutant and the higher-ups, the not baseball people, decided, since they canceled the Legion World Series and the regionals, that we have to cancel Ohio too. So there was over half of the Legion team that decided they wasn't going to play at all.
Let's give you a chance to crow here a little bit about Legion Ball. I saw an article in the paper, and this has been, well, probably February or March, I think before all this really hit. Was it your grandson Tyler who was taking over coaching the Legion?
Right.
Wow.
He's he don't want to be a head coach, but he's an excellent coach. And like I said, I handed down my number 4 jersey that I've worn forever. It was Duke Snyder. It was my idol and the whole bit. I handed that out to him because he would take care of when I'm going. I got it in good hands, and he does it. He gives lessons. And everything. He got a lot of clientele, and last night he had 3 lessons at the field during a game, and so it's in good hands. And with everything that's going on and stuff, I got quite emotional when I read the interview that he had. That he's a good kid. He just turns 26 here in October, and he's very responsible. And I know Beavers Field's in good hands.
Sure it is. And we got a couple minutes left. Just get your take on Major League Baseball this year. You got millionaires arguing with billionaires. Now we're down to 50 games or something. You think we'll ever see baseball this year?
To be honest with you, I don't think we will.
Maybe that's good. Maybe just 50 games. What does that mean?
The problem I have, the LA Dodgers was going to have the best team they've had for many years.
It's easy to say when they're not playing. I understand that, Coach, but of all the sports, that's the one that's really gotten ugly.
It is
between the owners and the players.
And it should be one of the easiest one to solve. I mean, you're playing baseball outside, even if you play without fans. I mean,
sure.
They can social distance. It's all money.
Yeah,
and if you're making $30 million a year, I think I could take a cut and pay maybe half of it. But I really don't think they'll settle.
Yeah, it's every week you just keep coming back. Well, we've made our final offer, and now they've countered with their proposal. And Rob Manfred, the commissioner, now says we're 100%, and now he's backing off, and now the players are upset over that. I mean, it's just a difficult time in baseball. And, you know, it's always been a status as kind of America's sport, but this is going to hurt it a little bit.
Yeah, I think, and for us locally, we don't have Columbus Clippers, we don't have Indians or the Reds, so it's going to help baseball at Beavers Field.
I was going to say, that go out to, if you want a great experience, his wife Phyllis does all the cooking out there. Home plate?
Phyllis's home plate.
Phyllis's home plate.
With Phyllis Burger, which is a half-pound cheeseburger.
It's a tremendous place to watch a game, just a beautiful venue out there. They've got games going on. Even if you don't know anybody that's playing, it's just a good way to see local baseball and teams from all over the state and actually beyond Ohio.
Yes.
Sure.
Well, the one tournament we had 3 teams from Indianapolis, 1 team from Kentucky, and a couple from Cincinnati, but Kentucky and Indiana couldn't even open up until yesterday, and that was 2 weeks ago. So they came to Ohio to play baseball.
Al Beavers with us from Beavers Field. Al, thanks for joining us. I'm glad it's underway, and I'm glad things are going out there. 30 years, it's been a gem to have them around here. Thanks for all you, Max Griggs, and all Dr. Bowling, all the original people thought about that. Thanks for the dream, making it come true.
Okay, well, thank you for having me.
Sure.
I appreciate that.
Sure. Al Beavers with us, Beavers Field. We'll be back to talk 4th of July in just a moment.
The Frankie Smith Funeral Home and Crematory in Lancaster and the Johnson Smith Funeral Home in Baltimore have a long and wonderful history of serving our community. Feel free to give us a call at 740-653-0652. Stop in and see us at either of our 2 locations, 405 North Columbus Street in Lancaster and 207 South Main Street in Baltimore. Respect for tradition, regard for change.
Fairfield Federal. When it comes to our customers and our community, we go above and beyond to help. Our people make the difference.
It's a hometown bank. It's located here in Fairfield County. Branches are convenient. They're located here in Pickerington, where my office is. I'm in Lancaster a lot, and they have plenty of branches there. And I much prefer dealing with the hometown banks rather than the larger nationwide chain banks.
So far, everybody's been so personable, and for us to bank with the local bank, and we bank in Lancaster, it's been so wonderful because we'll call somebody, Steve will call somebody, and they'll get back to us right away, or they'll say, okay, we're going to make a decision in the basement tomorrow, and they'll get back to us, rather than calling a bigger bank where we had to wait and we didn't always get the same person the next time we called for a investment banking opportunity, or getting something appraised, any of those kind of things.
Everybody is very customer friendly. A lot of times I'll bring my dog Bear with me, and the staff love him here, and of course he loves them and the treats that he gets. So it's just a nice kind of a family type environment.
Personal or business banking, whatever you need, we take it seriously because we know you do. Stop by today at any of our 3 locations and see why the difference is clear. Fairfield Federal Savings and Loan specializes in banking that revolves around you.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Welcome back to Fairfield Today. Paul Jasson here. Thank you for joining us. We're telecasting downtown from the Fairfield Federal lobby, back able to go there, and as you'll notice today when our next guest on, we're social distance. We were just that way a minute ago with Coach Beavers. Everything's working out here. We're able to keep the guidelines set that Dr. Acton and the governor have set up for us, so we're able to keep that all in place right here. I want to thank again the good folks here at Fairfield Federal. They've got their Quasqua Centennial going on, 125 years, and I'd encourage you to go on their website, because it's the only place you can do it, fairfieldfederal.com. They have big community awards they're giving away. I don't know how many there are, 8, 9, 10 charities that I think the amount is $12,500. Somebody's going to be awarded that, and it's on a ballot basis, so you're able to vote. You can just go on their website. They have a link to look it up, and you can see all the charities that are listed there. Fairfield Federal, I think back certainly the Bus Keaton, the Ron Keaton days. They've always been such a great neighbor for Lancaster and Fairfield County, and this is just the latest extension of that to tie in with their 125th anniversary this summer. So go on there, look it up, that charity community ballots they have. Vote for somebody on there. Somebody's going to get a nice boost to their fund as we move into the fall and get ready to go into when things really loosen up here in Lancaster and Fairfield County. So it's fairfieldfederal.com. Mentioned earlier, our guest would be Dave Smith, the July 4th committee. Certainly one of the premier events to begin summer, really kick off summer here. It begins with a tremendous July 4th parade. Let's put an asterisk by that this year.
Most years.
Change a little bit this year.
Big change. Our committee meets early in the year, sometimes January, sometimes February, but with all the things that were going on, we never really had a face-to-face meeting. We kept doing things by email, and we were discussing the coronavirus and concern for COVID-19, what it means to our community. And as March came April, we started seeing a lot of summertime activities being canceled, postponed, thought, well, we'll do it in the fall. Well, there's some things you might be able to postpone. It's kind of hard to have the 4th of July on it. But we thought about it.
But you think outside the box.
Yes. We were thinking, well, okay, we could have August the 5th, what the heck. Because we didn't know very much back in March and April of, well, it's going to end. It's going to end soon. But nobody was saying that. Yeah. And as the Lancaster Festival and the Tour de Cause and the Corvette show downtown, it usually has about 500 Corvettes, and that was going to be in September. We started seeing, the writing's on the wall. We're not going to be able to congregate thousands of people. And on the 4th of July, on the fairgrounds, we've had estimates somewhere between 25,000 and 50,000 people on the fairgrounds. It's
going to be tough to social distance.
Yeah, there's not enough 6-feeters out there to space them all apart. So we always kind of knew that probably everything on the fairgrounds was going to have to be canceled. We weren't sure about the parade. And we've actually had, it's an open issue. I don't think it's going to work out. We actually said, let's have a stationary parade, put the parade units on the curb, and have people drive by.
So they'll be the moving parts.
They'll be the moving parts. And obviously, our problem with the social distancing is who can be in the parade at the curbside that can be socially distancing. When you think about the bands and the marching dance groups, And even the buses and the trucks and the vans and all that, who's going to be on those? And the military groups, how are they going to be able to do that? So we haven't figured that out. So, but it was a nice idea to have a stationary parade and then have the people drive on by.
You know, I think back to, I don't know, maybe it was in March, I'm not sure, February, March, and it was all starting to come out, this virus. We didn't know anything about it then. It was just rumors. You'd hear things you didn't know. But then the governor canceled the Arnold Classic, and I thought, this is big, because that is the event in terms of Columbus, and I thought, if he can cancel that, then everything is up for grabs. I didn't know it would be this long into the festival, into July 4th, but here we are.
Yeah, no one did. And everybody congratulates Governor DeWine for making that early call, because that brought in thousands of people, tens of thousands of people, and many of them from faraway places.
Yes.
Foreign countries as well as other states, Michigan-like.
Oh no, not that. So now we are going to have a July 4th in some kind of truncated way. We already know the festival is off the, or I mean not the festival, but the parade is off the boards. We're not going to have that. So now it gets down to the fireworks aspect of it. And from what I understand, there is still going to be a really nice fireworks show. It's just going to be different.
It's going to be very short. We're calling it a 3-minute fireworks show. And normally Lancaster has one of the best in the country. It's 35 minutes long, which is longer than most. And it's pretty active. And the fun part was you had ground displays at the fairgrounds, you had fireworks from the fairgrounds, and you had fireworks from Mount Pleasant. Nobody has that. Nobody has that stage to set off fireworks like that. But that's because Hamburg Fireworks, this is their hometown, and they want to do a good show. And the finale lasts about 7 minutes.
Oh, it's huge.
Yeah, that finale is...
Red, White, and Boom would cry for that.
Yes, they would. Now, Red, White, and Boom is a bigger event in some ways. And I don't want to knock them, and they don't want to knock us, because we all like to celebrate the 4th of July and say it's great no matter what we're doing. But we get great accolades from the people that show up at our fireworks. And newcomers come to town, friends, family, whatever, and they say, wow, that was a show.
That's always the thought.
But we worked with the mayor of Lancaster, Dave Scheffler, and Paul Martin, and the police and fire chiefs, and said, what could we do at a minimum just to honor the day, to celebrate it? Because August the 5th doesn't make any sense.
Sure.
We were thinking that way, but...
Again, outside the box.
Outside the box, way outside. And everybody said, well, why don't you just have a very short show, much abbreviated. And a 3-minute show, you can't do a whole lot until you say Hamburg Fireworks is going to do the 3 minutes. Ken Sprague just would not let go of the idea, let's have something. What can we do? How are we going to do that? And our committee was between and betwixt. We knew that a lot of people and businesses didn't have the donation monies that they might normally. They're trying to keep their businesses alive, keep their employees. And we get a lot of donations from people.
Sure.
And we didn't want to burden them with donations. And at the same time, we had those same people that want to give us money. Fairfield Federal is one of the great supporters of the 4th of July. They want to give us the monies, but at the same time, we don't want to congregate people. Even this date in June, we're still afraid of congregating people, not being safe, having too many people that don't know each other. Opening up the restaurants is a baby step. You have a whole bunch of people at the fairgrounds or in Rising Park or at any of the malls. It'll be too much.
Yes.
It'll be a problem. So we're asking everybody to stay safe and stay home. Be safe, stay home. The fireworks are going to be great, but it's only 3 minutes. And we don't think we're going to encourage people from 40 miles away to come for a 3-minute show, because they might miss it.
Yeah.
Where are you going to park?
The light turns red at the wrong time. You can't see it.
Yeah, you can't see it. And there will be a lot of advantage points for people to see it. If their home isn't exactly right, they could be in their car somewhere, find a parking lot somewhere, and just stay in your car or right beside it. Stay safe. And stay away from other people.
So there'll be no parking in the fairgrounds.
No parking in the fairgrounds.
Rising.
No walk-in to the fairgrounds.
Right.
It'll be totally closed off. We're going to have Lancaster police in there making sure that people are not inside of the fairgrounds and not inside of Rising Park and not on top of Mount Pleasant.
There'll always be somebody that thinks, well, if I go in there, it's just be one person.
Are we talking about you, Paul?
No, we're not.
Okay.
But
we could be.
But let's just move forward
yes.
here. So there are going to be strict rules out there, and they're going to be enforced.
Yeah, and LPD is going to be patrolling the city, and they're going to do everything they can to discourage bad behavior. And this is one of those things that we ought to take pretty seriously, that you congregate with unknown people in close proximity, you're not doing the right thing. And people should wear their masks when they're in public, unless they're speaking and doing what we're doing.
And we're distanced?
And we're distanced. And they still know a lot of things, and there's some things they still don't know.
Sure.
But masks do make a difference. Social distancing makes a huge difference. So we want this to be a safe 4th of July and just a 3-minute fireworks show. And Hamburg Fireworks is doing it.
And you said that in our talk before we went on, it's going to be even a little bit different on top of the mountain, how they can do this.
Yeah, normally in a normal year, half the fireworks, half of the time will be down in the fairgrounds, half the time up on Mount Pleasant.
Yeah.
And going back and forth gives you a nice venue, and also allows the air to clear for the next fireworks to show up.
Right.
But we, the 4th of July Committee, didn't want to encourage people to come to a big show.
Yeah.
Even though we could have maybe thought about a big show, if it was a big show, we'd have people from miles and miles
Sure,
around. It's
sure.
a 3-minute show, just meant to honor the day. People should stay home and stay safe.
Well, it's I certainly want to thank your committee, Ken Sprague from Hamburg Fireworks, for again thinking outside the box and what can we do to still honor the day for what it means to our country, but still keep everybody safe, not have any problems, not say we created more problems than we solved. So sounds like there's been a lot of thought go into this.
Oh, we had many meetings, and we had a few in person at a big table so we could socially distance. And we had a lot of different people give us input, the general public, businesses, and as well as the 4th of July Committee, the city administration. A lot of people putting a good head to what we needed to do to make it right.
Well, and thanks to, again, Dave Scheffler, Paul Martin, fire, police chiefs, everybody in the community has come together on this, and they're all in alignment. So July 4th will look a little bit different this year. There'll be a very brief off-the-mountain fireworks and no social distancing. Nobody in the fairgrounds, nobody in Rising Park. You have to keep moving, keep driving around, no congregation. So with those rules in place, just different, and we hope for it'll be different in 2021.
Yeah. Guess what? It'll be bigger and better next year.
We think so. We
Yes,
think
it
so.
will.
So thanks, Dave, for coming in and explaining that and giving us some time on that. Good luck. We know it'll be a fun time and truncated, a little bit shorter, but still very cool.
Exactly. Stay home,
Yep.
stay safe.
Stay home, stay safe. I heard that. Thank you for joining us on Fairfield Today.
Interface Video, in cooperation with Fairfield Federal, presents Fairfield Today. Brought to you by Fairfield Federal Savings and Loan, Fairfield Medical Center, Fair Hope Hospice and Palliative Care, the Frankie Smith Funeral Home, Fairfield County Adam H., Dagger Law, and the Fairfield County Board of Developmental Disabilities.